Uh, Thank you all for being here this morning. We've got our agenda this morning. Drew, you're going to have to lead us, but we do like to kick off well, first I'll let Karen acknowledge, even though I heard that we're all three here. You want to take the roll call, Karen?
Sure. Governor?
Here.
Attorney General?
Here.
Commissioner?
Here.
And then as per tradition, we'd like to start off with a pledge of allegiance. Drew, if you could lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of
the United States of
America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What's that called when you do that? We did when you do that with the song. It's nicer with Christmas songs. Around. We didn't do it around. Little tape delay there, but it added to the emotion. I'm glad we did it.
Great. Well, Karen, we've got a relatively short agenda for this special meeting. Thanks to my fellow commissioners for joining this morning away from your other busy schedules. But Karen, do you want to kick it off and set it up here today for our one topic?
Sure. Thank you, Governor. So we met last on July 30th, and one of the topics on our agenda at that time was the interview of our DMR candidates. Executive Director Candace Reese had chaired that search committee and led that search. The candidates were interviewed, two strong candidates, and the commission made the decision at that time to deliberate a little bit longer, take some additional time to give consideration to the candidates. And so we are back here today for that singular purpose of discussion related to the candidates and a decision and selection of the next DMR executive director.
Thank you, Karen. And I do want to again thank the everybody that served on the search committee, because I would consider this a very successful search. And we, as Karen mentioned, we had two very strong candidates, and with Kevin and Nathan, both who presented well at the last meeting. I think that one of the things that I was looking for, and I'll jump in first, because when we decided to take a little more time on this, one thing that I felt is when you're making decisions for long-term leaders of important organizations, it's important to understand the context. And I wasn't as familiar as maybe I should have been going into that meeting about the next layers down inside of DMR, beyond the leadership that we might see in our meetings, and to understand sort of what our depth chart was, and within that org structure, how many people might be turning over or retiring in the next few years, and sort of what the mix was within that group of the sort of the ratio of internal experience versus industry experience, because we know that has been part of the success of DMR, is this having the right mix of both policy and regulatory experience, but also understanding the just critical, essential economic role that this industry plays in being the major funder for virtually everything we do in North Dakota, whether it's roads or schools or water or whatever. So anyway, I do want to thank Karen. Karen conducted interviews across the leadership team of DMR since that last meeting and before now. That's been helpful input to me in terms of understanding where we are and what the mix was. Also, I think that we are, the particular challenge we have here is with Lynn Helms having done such an exceptional job at all phases, both internally building a strong team, relationships with the industry, relationships with the legislature, ability to communicate with the industrial commission team, and then also how he represented us in externally across the country and in places like IOGCC. So we've got as we've acknowledged many times, we've got big shoes to fill. But one of the things that I in spending more time in the last few weeks understanding Lynn's success. I think one of the things that came up from both externally and from the internal interviews that Karen did was that that Lynn, part of Lynn's success was the fact that when Lynn had joined us, that he had almost 24 years of industry experience before he got into DMR in 1998, and so with that background of having worked in the industry, and maintaining those contacts, was something that helped him do his job, helped him do the director's cut, helped him do all the things because he had such a strong connection and being able to use that experience to help guide what we needed to do at the state level, but also understanding what we need to do to attract capital and talent to North Dakota. And of course, Lynn was in that role during the pivotal time of the Bakken becoming the Bakken and really becoming a place that not only changed North Dakota, but actually changed the landscape of the U.S. oil and gas industry and moved us from a position of decline to nationally to a position of increase in terms of our production because of the whole shale revolution which happened here. So with that, where I'm landing on this today is that, again, on the two strong candidates we have, Kevin with a stellar background, almost in some ways like with the work we did recently with the bank, where we had a strong internal candidate and a strong external candidate. Kevin, to me, represents really the internal candidate with his time at DMR and now at EERC, really critical work that he did on everything especially related to where we are with CCUS and achieving primacy. That's been super positive. We have with Nathan someone who brings tremendous private sector experience and really great leadership experience, as that you see in the incredibly strong references he has from the teams that he's built and the size and the scale of teams that he's led. Teams with his as high as $450 million annual budgets, doing that successfully across multiple different basins across the country. And I feel like that we've got a win-win in some ways here, because we have an opportunity to bring someone in to lead the organization that's got extensive experience, but roots in North Dakota, but extensive national experience on the private side in Nathan. And again, I would, if Nathan were to accept this role, I would do the same thing we've done as with the bank, which is, strongly encourage everybody at EERC to make sure we retain Kevin and Kevin's expertise in state at the EERC. So I feel like we've got a bit of a win-win here with the two candidates, which is that we can, bring in some fresh outside and I think important leadership experience in building high-performing teams, but also with that external experience that is going to be critical as we look to replace other key people, not us, because it'll be up to the director to build that team of leadership at DMR over the next 1 to 3 years as we see more retirements in that organization. But then at the same time, maintaining the strong relationship we have with the ERC, which has gotten even stronger because of now how we do it with the with CERC, with the planning that we're doing, the formal planning that EERC is doing in terms of energy planning for the state of North Dakota. So I just thought I'd open with where I'm landing on this, which is my view would be that bringing in Nathan right now as the leader would be my strong recommendation, and working to retain Kevin in the great work that he's doing at EERC, or potentially at some point even within DMR, if those over the next few years as openings as openings go. But I would want to turn this over to my fellow commissioners in either order. Drew or Doug, if you guys want to share your thoughts, go around the table, and then we can see whether we have a consensus or not, because I know this is the first time that any of us have spoken about this together.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we sure can, Doug.
Okay.
Yep.
I got kicked off the line and didn't get to hear all your comments, but it's kind of like last week when we did that ribbon cutting ceremony, Governor. You got my talking points and used every one of them. So good comment.
Not intentionally ever. It's me. Hopefully it's great minds thinking alike.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to probably echo a few things. I very much agree. We have two very good candidates, slightly different career paths. They bring a lot to the table. This organization, our department, wouldn't hardly miss a beat at all. But the same thing in struggling through the two strong candidates, I started to look internally at the department itself and the different divisions and trying to figure out what is it that we lack, what is it that we can build on. And again, going back to what you had stated about Lynn, what did Lynn bring to the table that we may not have throughout the entire organization, and where can we fit something else into that if we're lacking? And in the same way, I just really respect both candidates for throwing their hat in the ring. It's a tough decision. If we didn't need a director right now, I'd like another year to think about it, but we don't have that choice. And I guess when I look at the connectivity that exists or we need to have exist within the department, I've kind of landed on an individual, but I wanted to give my esteemed colleague, the Attorney General, a chance if he wanted to say something before I would be willing to make a motion if he is ready, or maybe he wants to make one. Maybe he has something different in mind. But Drew, with that, I'll turn it over to you before I would say anything else.
Yeah, my only comment would, I'll resist the temptation to that old adage of everything's been said, but not by everybody. So I'll just say it. I've appreciated the opportunity to serve with both of you on the Industrial Commission over the last 2.5 years, and want to thank you both for your leadership through a lot of decisions in these matters. I agree. I will echo this much. It's a difficult decision. Not because I think that we have the potential to make the wrong one here. They're both highly skilled people. They do come at it from a little different, I don't want to even say perspective, a little different career path, I think is what the commissioner said. To the governor's point of Lynn's background prior to joining the state of North Dakota as the leader of the division, that resonated with me as well. Thinking back there, I'm the junior member here of the commission in years of service, but I had the opportunity to serve as lieutenant governor as well and work closely with Lynn in that time frame, and they gained some insights to perhaps what, well, at least for myself, where it would land in this decision. So I won't go on anything else. I would say would just echo the comments. Really appreciate the work of the committee. They did a thorough job. And I've appreciated that both this and then prior to that, the bank search that we had, that the committee has taken so seriously that role of getting down to where they would be finalists that would come forward, not because this commission is so important we can't be bothered with such things. It's just that you've done a great job of arriving at finalists. I want to thank you for that because it takes a lot of time and effort. And so thank you. Karen and Reese and the chief deputy served on there and the others. So I'm going to leave it there for now. and just say that I've arrived at what I believe to be the right decision in this matter, but it's with a recognition that both are highly skilled, highly qualified, capable leaders for the road forward, not for this commission, but for the division.
Yeah, I agree. With that, Governor, I would, I think a lot has already been said already, so I'll make the motion. I would make a motion. I would move that we would offer the position to Nathan Anderson as the Executive Director of the Department of Mineral Resources.
And Governor, I would second that motion. I can't hear you, Gov.
He might have dropped off.
We have a
like I
motion
did.
and nope.
There we go.
Nope, I just muted myself there. I had was able to hear everything both you guys said. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion or questions? We'll call for the vote.
Commissioner,
Yes.
Attorney General,
Yes.
Governor,
Yes. Motion carries. Again, I think we want to acknowledge what we just said. We've got two fantastic candidates. Karen, it'll be your job now to put together the offer to Nathan. I know that we had, from the work that the search committee had done and with the executive recruiter, that we had identified that with the range that we were talking about for this job, that this would entail a pay cut for Nathan. This is not a surprise. We know that we're competing with the private sector, and when you're competing with proven leadership from the private sector, we knew that was a challenge. But Karen, I guess in addition to this, the motion to extend the offer goes without saying that you should enter into those negotiations. I think that Nathan understood the range as was posted on when we posted the position. So you should go into that recruiting / negotiation, hiring negotiation with that range in mind. But if you run into issues, I think that's when you circle back with the commission and the commission members to make sure that we're in a position to execute on this hire.
will do. Thank you, Governor.
And then the second action item is, I think I'd like, if we could formally, perhaps, I would offer that perhaps as the commission that we should formally offer our thanks to Kevin for his application. We know that he's been dedicated chunk of his career, having worked for DMR, then for EERC, towards this position and towards advancing the North Dakota oil and gas industry. His work has been exceptional and meaningful, and I think I know I can, from the comments that you guys have made in this meeting and the prior meeting, that we would want to extend our our support, encouragement, appreciation and gratitude to Kevin, for applying at this point in time, for becoming a finalist, and for the work that he's done with all of our, hope and wish that he'll continue to make substantial contributions to North Dakota in the days, weeks, months, and years ahead. He's a young guy that's got a lot to offer to North Dakota, and we would hope that we could maintain that relationship that we have between DMR and EERC, and Kevin specifically, in helping to continue to shape a regulatory framework in North Dakota that allows us to attract capital and fully develop the resource that we have here in North Dakota. And I would, if that if we can take that as an action item, or if one of the commissioners thinks that that should be a motion, that we extend that as part of Karen's work to Kevin, our gratitude to him, both past and present, and hopefully for the future, that he'll continue to have a role. That would be my recommendation.
Yeah, I
I can
certainly
make that
echo
motion.
those sentiments. Karen, a motion is appropriate. Yeah.
The Ag Commissioner was.
Okay, sorry about that, Commissioner.
No problem.
I'm just gonna second whatever you say.
Doug, we missed because we had two people talking, but go ahead, Doug.
Oh, I said I would move that. Your comments and sentiments concerning Kevin Connor. I very much
Okay,
appreciate
and then
that.
Drew,
and
Yeah, I'll second that. I don't know what the protocol would be on that being a motion. I just the fact that we are all again on the same page with regard to that. And Governor, I appreciate you making clear that that's about the future. It's recognition of his work and his abilities and his capabilities. And we, we all want to do everything possible to, maintain that and going forward, his service obviously is well regarded across the board, and he did an outstanding job throughout this process as well, and have every reason to believe that going forward it can maintain that positive working and professional relationship and trajectory. So certainly echo those comments.
Great. I think we, again, know that how important this industry is. And we know that innovative and thoughtful regulation, and Kevin's made a lot of contributions, but he's the kind of talent we need to retain at EERC and retain in the state of North Dakota going forward. He's got a lot more to contribute over his career back to our state. Okay, well, we'll call for the vote on that motion in second. Karen?
Commissioner,
yes,
Attorney General,
Yes.
Governor,
Yes, motion carries. Karen, does that conclude the business we have before the special meeting today?
that concludes our business, Governor.
Great. Well, again, want to thank the fellow commissioners, want to congratulate Nathan. Want to again extended our gratitude to Kevin, and want to thank Reese, you and Karen, you and Reese, and the rest of the commission, and everybody else on the search committee for managing this important process. And thanks for pulling together this special meeting this morning. That concludes our business. Again, I want to thank my fellow commissioners, Doug and Drew, for your both your service to the state, but the thoughtfulness in which you engage with these important hiring decisions. This is some of the most important work we do, and I appreciate both of you and your teams taking it very seriously. So with that, meeting is adjourned, and hope everybody has a great day. Thanks, everybody.
thank you.
Thanks, guys.